What is up, YouTube? I am Daniel Talbot, performance coach, and you're at Your Balance, where we discuss practical approaches to psychology, philosophy, and health sciences. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about some tips on how to get better sleep. I had been struggling with sleep for maybe 5 years, and those problems may have stemmed from a lot of different things. I think firstly was about a lack of knowledge around how we sleep and the things that impact us. A lot of these things you might already know about, but it's great to know some more specifics too, like how long before bed should I stop an activity. Also, there's a lot of good activities to do leading you up to bed and things that might be able to help the process. I'm going to suggest a few of those through the video too. So after the 5 years of struggle with sleep, I finally got it under control over the last year and a bit, and it's been fantastic. There's nothing like it. It's so relieving. And I think that's why it puts me in a position to have this chat with you all, is because I've suffered this for a long time. It started off with a bit of pain in my back and hips, and it got to the point where the only way I was able to sleep comfortably was on the floor. I also resorted to things like drinking a bit before bed so that I could actually fall asleep. Most of it though was in my head. I was thinking too much, and what I want to do and what I always want to do is my very best. And unfortunately, there is no way to outperform my sleep. I can't will myself to sleep better or train until I can finally sleep as much as I feel I need to. There's some natural things our body does that supports healthy sleeping behaviors. So let's go over a couple of them. So the first few I'll put together are probably the ones most of us would know. And that's no blue light and no caffeine before bed. So obviously those are things that we don't want to do. The caffeine influences our ability to actually fall asleep. It blocks the receptors in our brain that tells us we're getting sleepy. And so it prevents us from actually feeling tired. And that's a misconception with caffeine, as if it gives us more energy. Well, no, it just makes us less tired. They are actually different things. And with the blue light, that's all your screens, everything we do all day, every day for most of us. The screen you're looking at right now, even when you put it on those night mode settings, will still emit blue light. So how long before bed do we want to avoid these two things? Caffeine, it's about 6 hours is about how long we want to give it at best. 6 hours would be ideal. So if your last cup of coffee was at 2 o'clock, then you could probably expect to start falling asleep pretty well by 8. But a better rule of thumb than that is no caffeine after 12. No caffeine after 12, and I guarantee you'll be falling asleep wonderfully well. And for the blue light, it's about 1 to 2 hours. I always lean to the 2-hour part here to get the most effective sleep. Now, I think that's all good and well to hear, but what do you do instead of watching the screens? Don't worry, Daniel will tell you what to do. Daniel, he knows the way, such banana. There are a couple of tips you can do that will help your sleep more than just things that you can't do. So some things to do to replace the blue screen is reading. Reading is an obvious one. Reading fiction particularly. Nothing like a good story to put you to sleep. And there's a reason a bedtime story exists. Journaling is another excellent way, and probably the second best tip that worked best for me. Journaling's great because it got all that thinking out of my head that I'd normally reserved for my bed, and it got it out onto paper, and I didn't have to think about it anymore. And anything I wanted to take any notes of, I jotted it down there, and I knew it was saved there for tomorrow. And that helped me fall asleep much more peacefully. Another great tip before bed, and something to replace the screen time, is conversation. Let's go back to the 50s. Because that's what we used to do, is have a chat before bed with people that we cared about, ideally. I've always found this the most therapeutic thing in life in general. I'm quite an extrovert, in case you didn't notice, and I love getting to have a chat to some people before bed, and generally any time during the day, because it actually relaxes me quite a lot. Just being able to listen and make you realize that you're not alone amongst all this chaos. And the number one tip, the absolute tip that will work, I believe, for everybody, as long as you're following the nose, if you just do this one thing, nothing else really matters as much, I think. And that is, go to bed and wake up at exactly the same time. That means weekends too, which sucks, but it makes a massive difference even if you mess up a little bit on the weekends, because what will happen is your body starts creating a rhythm. And there is nothing stronger that influences our mood and our ability to do anything than our hormones. And this circadian rhythm, which is the rhythm that follows the night and the day that's within us, is based upon those hormones. And when you lock into that rhythm, you'll find that no matter what, if you're going to bed at 10 o'clock, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, you will start to feel sleepy at 10 o'clock. And if you wake up at 6, doesn't matter where you are, you'll wake up at 6. Your body wants this. Your body needs this. Your body's been doing this before you're even sentient. So this is what we're taking advantage of. Keep regular go to sleep and wake up times. And that will improve your sleep the most of every other tip. So a couple little bonus features for you all. I think supplements are a really useful way to improve your overall sleep. Now, I can only advise what's worked well for me, and I'll tell you why I think they work well for me. I'm gonna give you 2. The first one is magnesium. I like magnesium as a drink because it's kind of tasty and it beats drinking water all day. It's kind of like they make these wonderful like fruity Gatorade kind of drink, because in essence that's kind of what it is. The magnesium from that is an electrolyte, and so that means that it is kind of Gatorade but with no sugar, which is critical. Another great help with the magnesium is it helps with your muscle fatigue. So you wake up in the morning feeling a little loose, a little bit more refreshed. And the reason why magnesium I think works best for me is because most of the population is deficient in it. We get magnesium from things like dark greens and other vegetables, and often we don't eat enough. And we actually have to eat quite a bit to get all the magnesium we need, so a supplement is really useful, especially if you're exercising. It is particularly useful for sleep because it acts as a precursor to melatonin and serotonin, which are the hormones that enable us to fall asleep in the first place. Now the second one is something you can't take every day, or at least I don't think so. The magnesium, you absolutely can. The second one is Valerium. Yep, that's right, Harry Potter, my man, you got it right. Valerium is a supplement you can get from a chemist or anywhere else, and I use it occasionally. It's like the most natural of sleeping tablets and the most natural way to feel like you're falling asleep. This does work, and it comes in teas as well. You can get lots of sleepy teas that where its main ingredient is valerium root. So put a bit of magic in your sleep, put a spell over you so you can have a nice slumber, and enjoy those supplements if you choose. It's just my thoughts. Otherwise, I hope you get a great sleep, and make sure that you maybe subscribe before you do, or give me a thumbs up. But also, I have courses linked below, and SkillShare courses on this exact topic, where I go into some more detail around the specifics on how to use some of these tricks. I hope to see you at any of those courses with lots of video content. Otherwise, have a really restful day. Not too restful because you got all the sleep you needed already, right? All right, I'll see you next time.